Saturday, taking a little trip to Daiso and Mitsuya, two Japanese shops by my place. And off we go. We're at Daiso, and the Attack on Titan theme song just came on. So that's cool. Never has smoking been more fun. Now, with the cute fire extinguishing expert, you can put your cancer sticks out with a cute little cat. Smoke up, people. Smoke up. Hey, do you get motion sick, but don't have a bag with you? Next time you gotta puke, try our brand puke bags. Bags of puke, bags of puke. Puke bands are us. We're from Florida. Presented without comment.
It's day 89 of 100 Days of Making Comics. I'm your host, Gazbot. Welcome back, where I take 30 minutes at least out of my day, whatever's happening, client work, family work, work, jerk work, and circ work, and I put at least 30 minutes aside to work on my own personal project, which in my case is the comic book titled The Horror A4, which is sort of a kaiju giant monster type of monster called The Horror, and it takes place in a world 100 years after anyone has seen any monsters or giant heroes which used to populate the world, and suddenly one shows up again, and how the people deal with that. Pitch is getting a little smoother, still needs some work, but there you go. So today is Saturday, and I had a truncated version of Tokusatsu Mania. One of our members is in another country, another guy had to leave early, and you know, just the long and short of it is we watched one movie and two shows. We did watch Spider-Man, so that was good. And watched War of the Gargantuans, which I had never seen. It's one of those classic, you know, kaiju movies that I've always heard about. When I watched it, I was surprised. I thought it would be older, and I thought it would be like worse production value. It's actually really well made, especially for the time. It came out in like '66, and it's as good or better than the Godzilla movies of the time. The story was a little weak, and the ending was terrible, but otherwise worth watching. Anyway, here's a little montage of clippers of the crazy Japanese tokusatsu that we enjoyed today. Here!
Yeah. Wow, how'd they get it to move like that?
Moving so fast.
But it did like a U-turn.
Magnet?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh shit.
I'm just curious how burning in hell tastes.
What the f... Yes, where the f...
Look at the she's just walking by. These monsters showed up. I'm like, I should probably see that. It's gonna show him eating her?
Oh god.
Gingivitis.
Oh, yes. You have really good sets in this movie.
I concur.
So that's a taste of it. Enjoy. Nom, 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 nom. You ate it down, and now you have Japanese monsters inside your belly. Okay, also heroes, though, so they can fight together. So, did that, didn't take up the entire day like I thought it was going to, so it's kind of good, because I had to do a bunch of stuff. Hung out with Q a little bit, but what we did was went shopping. We went to, actually we went to Daiso and Mitsuha, which was what you saw in the beginning, that little jam session of that. I mostly bought junk food, a couple other non-junk food things, but we tend to go there and buy like candy and potato chips and stuff like that. And then I dropped her back off at home, and then we had some dinner, and then I went out and did like some grocery shopping and like real boring shopping. Got home and I worked on Earthling coloring again today. Put a couple hours in, didn't finish the page I was working on, but I'll finish that up either Sunday or Monday, so I got some good progress there. Then worked on the Horror A4. Good chunk of work, 2 hours and 15 minutes today, so, you know, feeling good about that. And it was another one of those days where like I'm like, oh, it's like I feel so, not unenthusiastic, intimidated. I feel so intimidated because I'm like trying to get a finished product. Like, when I'm doing roughs and layouts and sketching and writing, like, it might get frustrating, I might whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm like, well, it's not finished. And until it's finished, no one can judge me, and I can't judge myself, and, like, you know. But now that I'm doing, like, finished panels, and even these I'm reluctant to call finished. I'm like, well, they're mostly finished, but I reserve the right to tweak them when I finish the whole page. So, you know, don't judge me yet, don't judge me yet, don't judge yourself yet. But, you know, so there's an apprehension there that, like, this is a finality to it. But on the flip side, it also makes the whole project seem real, that I'm like, oh, this is no longer just roughs. This is like a finished piece of artwork I'm working on that could then be published or distributed digitally or, you know, whatever. So I finished up panel 1, which I had almost finished the other day. And as I said, I didn't really adjust the grays. I wasn't 100% happy with them, but I'm going to let each panel dictate its own grays. But I'll go ahead and show you whatever it was yesterday and then where I am today. I'll just put that crossfade up real quick, right? This! That. Okay, so there's that. That didn't take too long. That was maybe like the 15 minutes. Then I spent 2 hours doing panel 3. Yes, 2 hours on a panel. So if that means that it could be another 5 hours until I'm done, or more until I'm done with this page. So I'm very fast, just flying along. But this is another panel with the little squirrel creature from the panel 2 that I had done the first or second day. Whatever, you know what I mean. So I had a rough sketch that I'd kind of, similar with the last one, where I kind of got like a nice little pose that I liked, but when and I do this a lot when I do gestures. I have a pose that has an energy or an acting to it that I like. I'm like, that's pretty good. And then I go and try to sort of clean it up and like actually draw it. I'm like, it looks weird and the anatomy's wonky, and it only would work as like an animated character or a more cartoony character, or, you know. So I'll put up a series of slides and kind of talk about it, but I did finish the panel and I did think the grays came out better than yesterday. So I'll go ahead and put up that squirrel slideshow now.
So here is the rough I originally had, which I thought I liked the pose on. Then I was starting to clean it up and making them lean back, and I was just having a hard time with it, and it was looking weird, so I looked at a bunch of reference. And kind of got this sort of back view from a photo, but I also modified it. And then here I inked it digitally again, 3 different line thickness passes. And then I did the backgrounds with a 50% transparency on the claw on the back. And then I put in some grays, which I like better than the ones I did yesterday.
Squirrel slideshow. Okay, so that brings us to about now, which is the end of my day. I'm gonna just quick check my notes. Oh, you know what? I'm glad I'm notifying you that I am better at remembering things when I write them down. Although I guess that means I'm not remembering them because I wrote it down. Regardless, what I did want to mention was a day or two ago I had listed all the current D100s, people that were, you know, doing the challenge right now, and I left 2 people out. One person is Boots and Bats, which I didn't mention but I put in the show notes, but I wanted to actually say Boots and Bats is working on it, and she put up a video, which I'll put a link to below again, and I think she's one of the people that does a lot of off YouTube stuff. I forget, she mentions in her video, you know, you can find out where to find her stuff on her Tumblr, her personal page or something, but there's an intro video to let you know what's going on, and I think she updates periodically like some of the other people are doing. And the other person who I didn't know was doing it, but I do now know, is Matt Strott. And he's been around commenting on some of various people's things, so I kind of sort of knew who he was, and then he announced he was doing it. It was like, yay, all right, joining the ranks, and that's a lesson to anybody out there that's thinking about doing it. do like Matt Strott does and join in. And he's proof that you don't have to be a YouTuber because he has his own website, and I'm going to put the link to the day one of his startup thing. And as far as I know, he's not putting up any videos, but he's still taking the challenge. That's fine, you know, so their links are below. Again, if I forgot anybody else, if somebody I didn't mention, feel free to yell at me, and you know, neither of them did, but I realized on my own that I had sort of shortchanged them of their credit, as it were. Regardless, my day is done, and the day is 88, which is just crazy, because that means...
Only 11 more spooky days to go! Spiders.